Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, aspiring author Jonathan Taylor. Today I didn't find this today, I found this a while ago, and I thought I would make a video on it. And today is the day when I make that video. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You have seen tier maker videos before, I assume. Basically, you have these tiers. D is the lowest, S is the highest, and you have these things here, in this case fanfiction tropes, and these fanfiction tropes will be assessed by their quality and placed on somewhere on the tier list, according to how good they are, or rather, according to how good I think they are. I have some history with fanfiction in my own past, so I'm not gonna. So my opinions on fanfiction is just go ahead and do it. And I also want to show you kind of how I think when it comes to fan fiction in general. I'll be ranking these based on their story potential, as in how much drama, how much humor, how much action, and how much enjoyment can you get out of it generally. And I'm also assuming that the writer is somewhat competent, so that whatever they try, it actually has some odds of succeeding. Also, I'll be grading on a curve, meaning that the extremes are less likely to have any tropes on them rather than compared to the average. Also, I'll be ranking within the tiers. So the closer something is to the letter, the closer it will be to the no, the higher ranked it will be. This means that you might have high A's and low A's, and because I imagine B will be the biggest, there will be it might have a high, mid, and a low section. But we'll get to that point. So let's get to it. First off, ABO D. First off, it's based on pseudoscience. Second of all, even if you do it just right, it still locks your characters into specific roles, and I don't find that to be particularly interesting. It might be high D, but for now it's just the amnesia thick. I'm putting this as a B. If you know what you're doing, this can actually become a very powerful tool for character analysis. Eliminates the influence of nurture and just looks into what makes nature work, how nature works affects this character. What are their initial tendencies? It can be problematic, but it can also be quite good. Angst, and just that. See, I have to mention I'm not entirely sure what all of these terms are. I did Google some of them, but whatever. Range and marriage. Uh, I think this also goes as a B, but lower than amnesiafic. Arranged marriages have a have a point. They have a time and place, so to speak, and they can be used to establish character, to uh, showcase who these characters are. Baby thick. Does that mean the character gets a baby or becomes a baby? Wait, let me check. Uh, okay, not particularly helpful. Okay, let's see what Wiktionary says. Mm-hmm. Fanfic which focuses on a character raising a child or children. So, so yeah, getting a baby. Um, see, I don't know. There are there are stories you can tell with this, but really just having a baby means that secondary character you're introducing, the baby itself, is is not really a character, is a plot point. So yeah, sharing a bed. Not sure about that. I'm gonna go with C again. Bang or die. It actually has some comedic potential. If you try to play it up for drama or anything else, I'm pretty sure you'll fail. But yeah, if you use it for comedy and use it well, you might just get something out of it. Overall, I'll have to say it's this. Low C for now. Body swap. Okay. This is interesting, and at times problematic, but I think this will be the first A tier, walk a mile in someone else's shoes kind of thing. It allows us to see or get a fresh insight into the surroundings, into the nature of a specific character. Remember what I said about amnesia fic and eliminating the nurture aspect? Well, imagine doing that, but more. Imagine looking at nurture, but through a more diversified lens. This is kind of what body swap allows, technically, or more generally. Coffee shop AU. I assume this means characters either run a coffee shop or are constantly visiting a coffee shop. Either way, I think the story potential is about the same among both situations. I'm gonna say B. College AU. Well, if whatever writer is knows what they're doing, then it's an A. It really shows because it can really highlight how these particular characters grow, what their particular interests are, and how they work towards achieving those interests. And again, done well, it can become an excellent character study. But I've already assumed that all of these are done well. So this is why this gets an A. Crackfic. This one gets there. It's a high B. I don't know. Having things deliberately not make sense is not something I'm generally fond of. But if you know how to do it, and like I said, this is what I'm assuming. If you know how to do it, you can actually get some comedy mileage at least out of it. Crossover. Automatic. Automatic, yes. It can be used to highlight. Remember what I said about nature versus nurture? Yeah, this takes the body swap in some ways to a whole new level. This takes this brings characters to whole new worlds and has whole new hmm, ways of thought, and ways mm, and general impressions and general ways that these impressions are formed that come into it and that interact in new, more spectacular ways. So this very much deserves to be S tier. Dark fic. Uh, yeah, too vague too vague to make any definitive statement, but I'm gonna say C. Major character death. Well, if you don't have the balls to do it, I don't think you should do it. But if you have the balls and if you can do it good, I'll say lower end of A. Because every time you remove a major character, you have to ask yourself, will someone else take their place? Will the dynamic change without them? Anyway, canon divergence. Well, again, this is an A because what happens now, kind of thing. And if you have a solid enough bedrock, you can go into a lot of different places. Enemies to lovers. Uh, depends on how you make it, but generally it's a romance, and there is a. I'm not gonna say that romance is a limited genre in and of itself, but it is still just one genre you can really reach with this particular trope. So for this reason, this goes into B. Might actually go above Coffee Shop A. Do I like it more than arranged marriages? Yeah, I do. Established relationship. do you want to establish a relationship, or do you want to have a fanfic about an established relationship? Either way, low B. Fairy tale AU. So I'm assuming the characters from the original fiction piece are transported into a fairy tale and have their own roles. Yeah, this goes low A. Simply because it allows for a lot of interesting characterization options like this. Fake relationship. I don't really like anything fake in general, though it does have some comedic potential. So, C for now, low C. Fix it, fic. Okay, my computer doesn't like that. And fix it, fic. Assuming whoever writes it knows what they're doing. Yeah, this goes. Move over. Yeah, this goes here. Hi, fluff. Well, it's not my thing, but if you're into it, yeah. It goes above dark fic. In C, friends to lovers. Mm-hmm. Not sure what to say about this. No. Lord, no. Come on. Okay. B and C are surprisingly the most well developed. Oh well. Genfic. A very boring concept. I think I'm gonna place it still here, or maybe I'll move it in D. I don't know. Hard comfort. Yeah, I think this is a good place. C. Historical AU. Don't know. Yeah. This has a lot of potential for world building. This has a lot of potential for characterization. This has you can simply do a lot of things with this. So for this reason, I think historical AU really is one of the best tropes out there. High school AU. D. Sorry. Huddle for warmth. Cheap drama, really, most of the time. Sorry. Humor. Well, this is non-specific as fuck. And it seems like C is gonna be the biggest. I thought I'd be rating on a curve, but it seems I'm not. Yeah, here. In Vino Veritas, Drunken Confession. There are too many ways to screw this up, so I'm not gonna go place it too high. I think I'm gonna go, yeah, lower B tier. First kiss. Not sure about this one. I'll put it here till I figure out what to do with it. Magic AU. So everything is exactly the same except magic happens? And what kind of magic does happen? Does in fact happen. What are the ramifications? Either way, it makes me think, so for that, high end of A. Miscommunication. High end of D. Missing scenes. High end of B. Filling in some context for what the story skipped over? Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Gives you something to work with, and also showcases what you can do, and can improve the original to some extent. Mutual pining. Oh, how cute. This is another one that goes above arranged marriages because with mutual pining you can go into a will they won't they, and them not realizing, and the characters themselves not realizing it, is that they're not realizing that this is where it will go, because they're incapable of communicating is maybe an interesting idea, but its potential is pretty low. Whereas with arranged marriages, even though you know what the goal is, you don't know how they will get to it. So for that reason, arranged marriage is higher than mutual pining for now. Sex pollen. I assume this means. Oh, wait, I'll check. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, there is no. Okay, back to Google. Do-do-do. I wonder if you can. I wonder if you can see my search. Two characters together in a sexual encounter. One or several characters becomes infected with. Yeah. Okay, dubious consent. Whatever, I think it's. Let's see. Yeah, it's already in Bangor today. I wasn't expecting C to be the biggest here, but, well, I might just change that eventually. Also, sorry for this ad here, I don't know what to do. Pregnancy fic. It's a very meh. So I'll say, yeah, this. PWP. Well, it has its, I don't know, has its place. Overall, I think it's gonna go here. Mid-B tier. Royalty AU. Uh, another sort of these I'm gonna move over here in the middle of B. It's another it's another comfort idea. It's another a cozy fanfic idea. Wouldn't it be cool if? And to some extent, all of these ideas are wouldn't it be cool if? But this is one of the ones where it is most pronounced. And for the most part, you can't really do much more with it than you can do with really many others. Well, you can do some, but you can do basically enough to be a B. And it's quite fitting that it's next to arranged marriage, given that this is what royalty was based around, for the most part. Slow burn. I'll say low 8. Again, if you know what you're doing, you can you can pull off some great things here. But you have to know what you're doing, and I already assumed that. Soulmate AU. Wait a minute. I have to check. Soulmate AU. AU or soulmates will receive a Vaily worded letter as soon as they turn 18, and oh, damn. This is actually kind of interesting. But pretty easy to screw up. And it depends on how good how good a writer is with building up clues. So for now, I'm gonna put it here. It's a high B. Time loop. I'll say it's a low A. You can do some interesting things here. In general, love triangle. I think it goes here, lower end of B. Also now that we have two rows here, this is the lower row, this is the higher row, and the higher row is more highly ranked because of course. Unhappy ending. It's just an ending really. One possible one. So goes in the high end of C. Unrequited love. Another one of those where you have to know what you're doing in order to really relate it fairly or good. I'm gonna say, yeah, here, right next to several other romantic tropes. Yeah, hurt comfort technically also counts as that, but you need a pre-established context for that, so it's not only as versatile. That's why it's C. Also, these things are just for horniness. This is also for horniness, but this thing doesn't pretend to not be horniness. This pretends to have a deeper goal, and yeah, in pretending it limits the possibilities of the story. So yeah. Anyway, this is what I say. I'm sorry that there are more uh, bad tropes than good tropes, but what you gonna do? You can do you can do good things with most of these, or semi-good things with most of them, but overall, I'm gonna have to say this is my uh, definitive. Okay, it's not definitive. But it's what I think of as of right now would make for the best fanfiction tropes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing me talking about them. And until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.